Hi everyone, Harris here with iDownload Blog, and watchOS 6 did not blow my mind at WWDC, and even after updating the software, the only things I really noticed were a little weather icon next to the temperature on my default watch face, and then some rounder elements in the Now Playing app. So I wasn't really blown away. But actually using the features that Apple talked about and digging deeper into them has made it clear to me that this is another step away from being an extension to the iPhone and becoming closer to its own product, the Apple Watch. Here are 5 reasons why that is the case. Siri is now more than just commanding basic things on your watch and essentially commanding more things on your phone. Now you can actually pull up web pages from Siri results. Now with watchOS 5, you could pull up a very limited WebKit version of websites, but that was only through clicking on a link from mail or messages or anywhere else you might have a link. Now when you ask Siri for a query and you ask her something, she can pull up web results and you can actually click on a link. This won't work all the times depending on if Siri has a native response for your type of question, like for sports or movies, but if it does do a Google search result, then it will indeed let you click on links, which is super cool. Additionally, Siri supports Shazam on the watch natively. You don't need a third-party app. You can just ask Siri to identify the song and very quickly she will do so. My favorite feature of that though is that you can instantly add that song to your library so that you never have to worry about that song that you liked, got its name, but then forgot it. You can add that right to your library if you're an Apple Music user. Next, the addition of the calculator on the Apple Watch is something that should have been there from the beginning, but it is finally here. Of course, there have been third-party applications for this for a while, but it will always be quicker when Apple makes it because it is native. I've already used the tip calculator feature a couple times, and you can also split the tab depending on how many people are with you. So this is a very handy app when you don't want to pull out your phone. Again, this is another step towards making the Apple Watch independent, is giving it a good calculator app. Now, a second application that made its way to the Apple Watch is voice memos, and I'm actually extremely excited about this. More than a couple times I have pulled my phone out to record something funny or a lecture at school or whatever it was. I wanted to be able to reference it later, but oftentimes it is a little awkward to pull my phone out of my pocket, start a voice memo, especially if maybe I shouldn't be recording it. And then once I have that started, I have to keep the phone not in my pocket where the movement from my pocket can interrupt the recording, and not somewhere obvious, but I have to keep it somewhere where it just won't be disrupted. But having this on your watch is a far less conspicuous method of getting voice recordings, and you don't have to worry about it being interfered with by a pocket or another person around you. And additionally, you can play back these recordings from the watch's built-in speaker, which is great. Next, while the Apple Watch has been a very handy addition to your Mac for supported Macs for unlocking it as kind of a secure unlocking method, now this takes it a step further. With the proper Mac software and the right hardware, not only can you use your watch to unlock your Mac, but once you are actually using the software, you can use it to replace Touch ID or to replace where you would conventionally put in your passcode, such as to verify a third-party installation of software. Additionally, you can use it as an additional device for two-step verification, which could be huge if you're ever in a situation where you need to log into your Apple ID, but you don't have another device around with you to verify your identification. Of course, now you no longer need to be tied down to your iPhone for apps, for installing apps, browsing apps, nor even having an iPhone equivalent app on your phone that you want to install on your watch. Now with the App Store native on the Apple Watch, you can do everything that you need to do regarding apps completely independently of your phone once the watch is set up. You can browse for apps, you can download and delete apps, and developers do not have to make iPhone compatible apps in order to have one for the Apple Watch. And this is going to be huge for both making new applications, but allowing you quicker and easier on-the-go access to downloading your favorite apps on the Apple Watch. And finally, anything to do with fitness is going to be very central to the Apple Watch. That is one of the things that really differentiates it from the iPhone, is it provides much more intimate fitness data. Now, one of the things that you can't do on an Apple Watch is look back at your workouts. You can see an extremely abbreviated view of that workout in the activity app, but you can't click on it and go in and look at your data. But now you can go back into workouts. You can view all the data from when you initially closed or finished that activity. So for me, when I finish my runs, I can go back in later without ever syncing it to my phone to view things like splits, heart rate data, elevation, and more. Whereas previously you would have to wait to sync it with your phone to get that data. Now you can view it on your watch, which is very handy. And for anybody who uses this for fitness, which I think is a lot of people, this will be nice to be able to view your workouts again on the watch before syncing it with your phone. So now with watchOS 6, we are moving further and further away from the Apple Watch just being a time-telling extension of the iPhone. It is becoming more like a miniature iPhone and is letting you do things that normally you could only do from your phone. Now we're just missing things like the camera and other hardware features that could really take it to the next step. But let me know what you think of watchOS 6. If you like it or think that it still hasn't done enough, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.